Welcome back to Good to Know. We're all about the positivity here, sharing incredible stories from all across the country. And that includes this one from New York City. A mom survived COVID-19, gave birth to her child, but couldn't see that child for a few weeks. We captured that incredible reunion on video.
It was an emotional scene many feared wouldn't happen.
She was my patient and she was so sick. She was so sick.
The medical team put Yanira Soriano on a ventilator and tried to save the baby. Dr. Gina Mersa is in charge of these newborn emergencies.
We put the mother on the ventilator in the OR when they were going to start the C-section. She was very scared. You could see it in her eyes. It was the most horrible thing.
The mother is usually conscious during a C-section. Not this time. The staff felt the fear.
The fear that this mom would die and that the baby would live its life never meeting his mother.
She just asked the promise to try to save her baby because she thought she was going to die.
The baby boy was born on April 3rd and transferred to a pediatric hospital.
And the only thing that kept her alive, she kept praying for her baby.
Yanira Soriano lingered near death, isolated, 11 days on a respirator.
She's been asleep in a medically induced coma for the last couple of weeks.
The respirator came out Monday, and Wednesday, her husband came to take her home.
Oh, the baby's here too.
He brought baby Walter, mother and child meeting for the first time after both beat the odds.
I don't even have words.
That gives us the strength to keep going on.
It makes me feel like everything I do is worth it.
I've been doing this for 20-something years. I've never seen anything like this.
And before the joyous family drove home all together, baby Walter had something to say.
A drive-by baby shower in Texas turned out to be a very special delivery.
A line of cars honking horns and lots of hand waving. This kind of traffic new parents Tiana and Martavia Simmons were not expecting.
Very overwhelming. I really don't know what to say right now.
It's a drive-by baby shower. Theirs was set for this month, but Simmons says the outbreak forced them to cancel plans with friends and family.
I was really frustrated and sad that all this was going on and he was coming at this time.
Loved ones weren't allowed to be at the hospital to welcome the new baby either. Family friend Gwendolyn Tyler says the pandemic wasn't going to stop the celebration.
Thought it would be a good idea to kind of cheer her up and just have a little parade for her, and we're going to drop off gifts so that she'll know that even though coronavirus have kept us from the hospital, we still thought about her and we want to just honor her today, her and her husband.
Simmons' mother says it's times like this when you really have to think outside the box.
It is different. We have to do things differently, be creative in what we do, and we just have to accept it and do what we can, how we can.
More importantly, spread a little kindness and positivity.
It's a tough time for people in hospitals. You know, people are dying by themselves, and I just thought it would be a good thing to just give a little encouragement today.
And show people what happens when we all come together for one another.
'89.
That's a young and enthusiastic Jacqueline Moran. She's been stuck in the house for more than a month now, and knowing her birthday was coming, her kids wanted to do something special. So, with the nerves in their stomach, like the old days when they may have toilet papered someone's house, they met up early in the morning to set the surprise. Jim Moran, who happens to be a commissioner for Queen Anne's County, met his siblings early in the morning.
I was out here in the dark, but my sister and my brother showed up at about 6:30, and we were in and out of here in like 15 minutes.
Signs, balloons, and 89 butterflies, one for each year, adorn the lawn for all to see.
Oh, it's so wonderful. I think they just brought joy to the whole neighborhood.
The surprise worked.
It was amazing. I didn't know. I was out of breath, really. I didn't know what to say. I said, what happened? I didn't hear anything. At first, I said, well, I'm going to wait a few minutes because I was crying, really. I was so happy.
So with 5 kids, 12 grandkids, and 12 great-grandkids, and that number is about to go to 13, all celebrating her 89 years, Jacqueline passes on some wisdom for all of us.
I mean, you do the best you can and say and pray to God that it go away and that you can live a normal life after that.
Check out this act of kindness. A grocery store gave free groceries to some healthcare workers, and then they got a surprise.
A familiar scene across stores in 7 states Monday night.
Groceries are on Winn-Dixie tonight. Thanks for everything you do.
Southeastern Grocers, the parent company of Winn-Dixie, picked up the tab during a healthcare worker and first responder shopping hour at its stores.
Oh my God. Oh, thank you.
The gesture to thank frontline workers, leaving many without words.
I just walked out in just tears. You know, it was one of the nicest things that anybody has ever done.
Jillian Rose and her husband were at the Winn-Dixie in Pinellas Park that night. Rose is a first responder herself and couldn't believe the kindness she'd seen. As soon as they left the store, the couple conspired on how they could take their good fortune and pay it forward.
In this bag, my husband and I, we went and we bought a gas card for every single employee for Winn-Dixie.
70 gas cards, a thank you from one frontline worker to dozens more.
They're wiping down the carts as we're coming in, keeping our shelves stocked, helping us with questions. We see them and we appreciate everything that they're doing.
Store manager Daniel Round knows the extra reward will mean a lot to his employees. While the health crisis has been stressful, he says,
it's what we do. We feed people. We sell groceries and we feed people.
As Rose's letter to employees read,
not all heroes wear capes. In this case, they wear a Winn-Dixie name tag.
Showing in a crisis, heroes come in many forms.
Essential workers are keeping our country moving, and there are too many to count. Many you probably don't even think about, like the men and women working at our ports, helping get stuff to our stores and homes. That's why it's so good to see the great work at the Anchor House in Manatee County, Florida.
Here at Anchor House, we try and give them that hope.
Despite going from a 30-person operation down to just 2, the small team is keeping the crews fed, stomach, and soul.
We need it. As hard as we work, we need some time to be lifted up.
All right, let's keep the good news rolling with a DJ in Vegas who's putting a positive spin on things.
Vegas is unlike anywhere else.
Las Vegas, the entertainment capital, and a place where people come from all over the world for an unforgettable night.
Vegas to me is where everybody saves their energy, their money, their crazy side, and lets it all out and goes wild.
For more than 15 years, DJ Vice has been making crowds come alive, DJing for packed clubs on the Strip, including hotspots like Marquee at the Cosmopolitan and Tao inside the Venetian. But with nightlife now on pause, this DJ is recreating the club scene at home with his daily online show, Quarantunes.
It's just a really cool way to bring that positive energy and connect with people.
Social media allowing that connection to be felt all over the world.
I've gotten people from London to Nigeria. It's just a wild feeling to see everybody jump in these live streams and say, hey, I heard you at Marquee, or hey, I was at one of your Vegas gigs 10 years ago.
With face-to-face interactions on hold, people now turning to social media for entertainment. But DJ Vice says once we get past this,
I just really believe that we will come back stronger than ever. And I know that when I'm back in Vegas standing behind that DJ booth, it's going to be my moment to feel really proud of the city that has done so much for me, and I'm ready to get back to them.
Finally, a musical performance by dozens of performers that's going to bring us all together.
Michael Jackson's iconic 1985 hit, We Are the World. 35 years later, that theme of unity recreated with a local quarantine twist.
There comes a time
More than 70 local musicians from Long Island's live music scene performed the classic together from the comfort and safety of their homes. The musical feat, which took 4 weeks to produce, was spearheaded by musicians Kristen and Adam Seeley.
It was just one of those things, like we knew enough people, we play in bands ourselves, and we said, how can we reach out and do one line at a time and just try to make this happen as a big puzzle piece kind of a thing, and it just kind of blossomed from there.
What made the production all the more unique, the musicians were cast by way of the tribute band they play in.
Wrote all the emails to everybody, this is your part, here's your solo line, sing this, and then sing this chorus in E and sing this chorus in F.
The final product, a resounding tip of the hat to the craft that has kept these musicians afloat in these uncertain times. All of them longing to get back on stage, but with bars and lounges currently shut down in the state, YouTube is their only feasible venue. Their video now seen nearly 200,000 times.
We're certainly not on the front line, and when you're helpless and you can't contribute in that way, you look to do whatever you can do, and this is what we could do, so there it is.
We've seen so many incredible videos and acts of kindness from all across the country today. Talented people sharing in their community and helping one another. Isn't that good to know?